hyperbolic paraboloid, also known as a Pringle. While the idea of building one of these might seem really frightening to you, you needn't be scared. In Minecraft these are actually super easy to build and they follow a very simple rule. So how is this thing in any way easy to build? Here's the answer. They are made of straight lines. To build this curvy Pringle, this isn't a sponsored video by the way, but Pringles are really tasty. If you can count to 16, you're good to go. So let me show you how it's done. Before you begin, you want to find a nice flat area that's 17 by 17 because that's how wide the structure is going to be. But anyway, you find the center block and you build it by 8 blocks. And then on the top of this, you're going to place a snow block and build out 8 blocks in all directions. And the reason we're using snow will become clear later. Right, now once you've done this, come to the center block here, and you want to go diagonally 1 block and place a snow block. Then place 1 snow layer. Then place another snow block here and place 2 snow layers. Place another block here and place 3 snow layers. Place another block here and place 4 snow layers, etc. until you reach the end, which is 8 snow layers or 1 full snow block. Just like this. Okay, now that you've done that, you want to come to this row here and place 2 snow layers, then another block and 4 snow layers, then another block and 6 snow layers, another block and then a solid block. So you're going up in multiples of 2, whereas with this it was multiples of 1. Can you guess what we've got to do next? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? So now you place a block there and you go up by 3, then 6, then 9, then 12. So with the first row we went at multiples of 1, or we just added 1 each time. And then with the second row we just went up in multiples of 2, or added 2 each time. And then multiples of 3. So to make the rest clear, you want to do multiples of 4 here, multiples of 5 in the next one, multiples of 6 in the next one, multiples of 7 in the next one, until you reach this end one here, which is multiples of 8, or just solid blocks. When you are finished, this is what it should look like. And if we fly on under here, should look like this underneath. The next step is to repeat this process on the opposite corner, this corner here. But for these 2 corners, you want to leave them blank for now. But all you need to do is just repeat this on this side. And then we can move on to these corners, which are going to do exactly the same, but they're going to go down instead of up. You know how earlier I said that we're working with straight lines? Well, all we're going to do is continue these lines on the same trajectory as they're currently going. So instead of adding, we're going to subtract. We're going to have 7 snow layers, then 6 snow layers, then 5 snow layers, then 4 snow layers. And then with this one, we would subtract 2 each time, so it would be 6 layers, then 4 layers, then 2 layers, just like that. And then we're going to subtract 3 for this one, 4 for this one, 5 for this one, until eventually it'll reach the ground. So ultimately this is what it should look like, and then you just repeat this on the other side as I said before. Like, subscribe, bell. Thank you. Also, join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. So now I'm going to show you how to get that distinctive Pringle shape. Now what's the number 1 rule with Pringles? They must be able to fit into a cylinder. But ultimately, we don't need to build a cylinder. All we need to do is just build this circle either above or below the structure, and then I'll show you the next part. So we'll start on one of the outside edges. This is 5 long, and it's in line with the center. Next you need to build 2 blocks out, then you need to do a pointy thing like this, 2 more blocks out, and then 5 blocks, and it should all line up properly, just like that. So you continue this again, 2, pointy thing, 2, 5, 2, pointy thing, 2, 5. There we go, that's done. So what you're going to be doing next is punching out all of the blocks that are on the outside of this circle. And of course, if you prefer, you can build the circle structure underneath, if that makes it easier for you. So if you look directly down here, you would be punching out all of this. And these ones. And you'll basically be going around the structure doing this to each of the corners. And then that will give you the distinctive Pringle curve. So you can come under here and do the same. You can basically just line yourself up against these blocks and punch out these blocks here. In fact, I'd say that's probably easier. And there you have it, guys. A completed Pringle structure. So I guess you're all wondering how I made this Pringle. Well, I did the exact same thing, but instead of counting out 8 blocks and working in multiples of 8, the maximum size is 16. And as you can see, these things are awesome. I can think of some really good build ideas for these, but if you're wondering why we didn't use slabs, this is why. It's because they end up being a lot more pointy, which does look pretty cool. I mean, you could probably have some sort of Eye of Sauron or something up here. And the same goes for the reason we didn't use solid blocks, because they end up something like this instead. But there is a way that you can use solid blocks. If you build 8 by 8 cubes, you can end up with something a bit like this, and I coloured this one in. And it's pretty big. So yeah, each of these blocks is 8 by 8, and they all do the same sort of pattern. They all go up 1 and then 2 and then 3. I did use Litematica to put the blocks in place. But yeah, if I were to build something like this by hand, it would probably take me about a year. So what I did was I used Litematica to highlight one completed structure, and then I pasted another 3 onto the corners of it. And I've taken a full schematic of the entire thing. You can just about judge the scale of this thing. But if I hit J, that is how many blocks is in this one structure. So more than 500,000. So yeah, don't waste your life away building this by hand, because it's probably going to take you a very long time. So you might be wondering if the hyperbolic paraboloids can be built diagonally on the horizontal plane so that they're rotated 45 degrees from the XZ coordinates. And the answer to that is yes, but it does work a little bit differently. You can't build them the standard way using Euclidean distance. In other words, where you have 7, then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on the next row here you would go 6, 4, 2 down and a solid block. Because as soon as you get to a drop of 4, it ends up not matching the blocks that went before it, and it ends up making a higgledy-piggledy mess like this. You can, however, use rectilinear placement like this, where you can see we've got a straight line going this way and we've got a straight line going this way. They've all got one block in between. You can do this, the only thing is you would need to place a block in between each block and find out the median distance between all of the surrounding blocks. So that would be a pain to calculate. So really I would just stick with the standard ones that we've built over here. One thing I will point out though is that I am no real mathematician, so if anybody has a better way or an easier way of doing this, then please let me know. I would love to hear it. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want to learn to do more crazy builds like these, I definitely will be making more videos like this one in the future, so hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell. I hope to see you all in the next one. Cheers and bye bye.